So, stereotypes. Boys like blue, girls like pink, men are leaders, girls are meant to be protected. With stereotypes, you create a world where people are punished for being themselves. This is because stereotypes are based on the simple view of what people are actually like, but they're still forced on everyone all the same. Generally, there are three types of stereotypes. So there's stereotypes of personality, which is things like men not showing emotions, women not being leaders, career choices, so men choosing more dangerous jobs, and appearance, which is things like boys wear pants for school uniforms while girls wear skirts, or boys have short hair and girls have long hair. All of these have been pushed onto people since birth for centuries, and as a result, we're still trying to move on.
This is an Elena-approved production.
So, I'd like to preface this by saying that people are kind of like soup. Hear me out. So, you know when you're talking to someone and you talk to them for so long that the things they say, like some sort of memorable quirk or phrase or just a little sentence, start to spread to you and you start to say them to other people. That is because of soup. Soup is our personality, it is our actions, it's the way we think. And I will be kind of using that as a very super deep metaphor in this PIP. Anyways, continuing on. The ideal man dude boy is stoic, physically strong, plays a lot of sports, muscular. I am none of these, which is why I'm like a marshmallow or mushy cereal. Is that okay? Yeah. Does that mean I am not a boy? Does that mean I should just literally just die? Like I should just turn into a corpse on the spot? Because I am just, if I'm not a girl, but I'm not a boy either, then I'm just dead. No. But if I was like this in, say, the 19th century, I would probably be viewed as less desirable as a leader, and probably less hireable too. Because people, again, they have yucky, rotten, moldy garbage soup. Especially in the 19th century. That's the century I'm going to be mentioning a lot here. Studies show that men have twice the suicide rate of women. However, women have double the amount of suicide attempts, but men tend to choose more dangerous options. Women have a significantly higher rate of being diagnosed for depression, but that's likely also not an accurate number, since, a lot of men tend to shy away from asking doctors for help with mental illnesses such as depression, anxiety, PTSD, and the like. This is most likely because emotions are seen as a sign of femininity, which is seen as a sign of weakness, which is actually really stupid because showing emotions is actually a sign of strength. But a lot of men are insecure about this, particularly the older generation, which is almost infamous, you could say, for their use of the word soft and snowflake when describing the younger generation. Because, they're like, back in my day, we had to walk uphill to school both ways, from school and to school. Our food, you know what our food was? It was death. Death gave us nutrients. Death gave us life. And that's also where the whole OK Boomer thing came from, but I won't get into that, that's like a whole other topic. A lot of the men who raised the generation before us and the generation before them are the reason women were oppressed for centuries. We've definitely improved as a society in that regard, but the problem still exists. In the 19th century, women were unable to do simple things such as wear pants, vote, or even go to school. Pretty much all of these restrictions have been abolished since the 19th century, since people, had some common sense. But a bias definitely still exists when it comes to comparing men and women in the modern world. A pay gap exists where women only get around 82 to 85 cents for every dollar a man gets. Less than 25% of Congress members are women. This is most likely because women are seen as too soft and sensitive for the rules of politics and should leave it to the men. And kids too have been shown to be affected by stereotypes, usually on a smaller scale, but in some third world countries, girls are still denied education. Nowadays, kids are more accepted for being themselves, but it's wrong to say that stereotypes don't still exist. a study that refers to it as the hegemonic myth. I have no idea what that means. I think I just wanted to sound smart, so I'll put the definition here. Whoa, it's the definition. Garbage. Particularly in the East, girls were told to not be friends with boys, as boys are seen as trouble, and they're told to not go out alone at night because in fear of harassment. Also notable is that when boys and girls try to go outside of gender stereotypes and not conform, for example, boys wearing nail polish, skirts, or girls playing sports or taking on the jobs of boys, usually when girls take on more masculine traits, which is sometimes referred to as a tomboy, it's usually more well received because traits associated with men include things like power, dominance, strength. But when boys possess more feminine characteristics, it's usually not as well received since femininity is associated with weakness and inferiority. Also, remember my touch PIP? This is actually something I forgot to mention there. Sometimes boys don't like physical contact because physical contact is showing emotion. Being affectionate is showing emotion, therefore being feminine, therefore being bad, no hugging. Bad, no hugs. Obviously, some people just don't like touching other people, which is understandable. Then, there's also the issue of how accessible media is, like TV shows, movies, games, and how they reinforce stereotypes too. Many TV shows feature characters like the strong male main character who's a little stupid, but he still gets the job done. He doesn't show that much emotion, and there's another main character. The other main character is the sassy, witty female character who only serves to exist in the story to be saved by the main character and as a love interest. A lot of these shows are aimed at kids where you're at your most impressionable and most easily influenced. Then, even worse in my opinion, there's these really stupid gendered baby shirts and a lot of other things that get sold in shops all the time. Like, for example, you can't just have a baby bag, you have a tactical baby bag. Because, why carry a baby? That's what mothers are for. If you carry a baby, you're a girl. So you gotta have the tactical, military, armored baby bag. And also, we all know what the 5 genders are, right? So we got angry woman, we got angriest woman, we got angry man, we got angriest man, and then we have... Yeah, and of course, pink shirt day exists because a boy was harassed and bullied for wearing a shirt. He was harassed for wearing a shirt? Well, Pink Shirt Day exists because in 2007, a boy was harassed and bullied relentlessly for wearing pink. And as these once innocent children grow into teenagers, the expectations and pressure increase, leading to harmful conclusions and assumptions about what it means to be a boy or a girl. Throughout their lives, studies show that gender stereotypes can affect our well-being, our mental health, the jobs we choose, and how we live. When kids were interviewed, 44% of girls said that being good-looking was the most important trait for a girl to have, and 1 out of 8 of all of the children selected all said that being tough is the most important trait in a boy. One of the children selected was actually little Timmy, the son of Timmy. In protest of these old and outdated beliefs, a new movement formed. The people in support of a new, more equal society are known as feminists. To clarify, people who want to kill all men are not actually feminists. They're either really stupid or they're just being sarcastic. Stop getting your information from what you see on the internet and do your own research. Anyways, the whole point of the women's rights movement is to campaign for the respect and recognition of women and equality of men and women. It's typically separated into 4 waves. The first wave of feminism took place in the 19th century and mainly focused on gaining women's suffrage. Why is it called that? I don't know, so here's the definition. Do you like the definition? I don't either. Yeah, it's stupid, so I'm gonna cut it up now. Garbage. Go die. The second wave of feminism took place in the 60s, which mainly focused on putting women in positions of power typically thought of as roles for men. allowing women access to education, and generally increasing awareness of how flawed society is. The third wave of feminism took place in the mid-90s, which focused on breaking down expectations and not conforming to pressure. And now, we are currently in the fourth wave of feminism, where most of the goals of the second wave were achieved, such as putting women in positions of power, more access to education, and the like. I really believe that we can make things even better than they are now. But first, we have to go back to the start of the world, to Big Timaeus, the ancient ancestor of Timmy, and the origin of all bad no-nos. Take this with just a little grain of salt. So Timaeus, the origin of all bad no-nos, was once a caveman. And this caveman said something along the lines of "Ooga booga," and Timaeus' friend was like "Fudaluku," very very deep, very deep. And in response, Timaeus said "Hoo ha, blah, blah." So his friend said, "Bah." Timaeus says, "Hookah, hookah." And his friend says, "Bah." And finally, Timaeus concludes the conversation with a "hoo, hoo, hoo." So let me translate this. Roughly translated, this says something along the lines of, "I am man, me go hunt." His friend says, "I am woman, me no hunt, why?" Timaeus says, "You weak." In response, his friend says, "Bruh." So Timaeus says, "Go eat the grass I cooked." She says, "Bruh," again, and Timaeus concludes the conversation with a ha ha. So, due to the natural spread of soup, I'm not sure if you've heard of the Alqua soup scale, so let me explain. The soup scale is basically a way of measuring how much a person has changed because of another person's soup. And the measuring unit is also called soup. So over time, the soup spread approximately 10, then 100, then 1,000 soups per year, until eventually it evolved into what we have now, with men being perceived as natural leaders that shouldn't show emotion, and women are weaker and shouldn't be leaders, and all the other stereotypes that developed from that as society advanced. However, most ideas from a long time ago have been proven wrong now. For example, I don't know how to say his name, so I'm just going to butcher it. Sigmund Freud was one of the most renowned philosophers of his time, and yet he thought that a boy dreaming of horses meant he was attracted to his mother and scared of his father finding out. And he also really liked drugs, so I don't think he's the most accurate source of information. And what do you know? That was true. Pretty much everything he ever believed in his entire life was all proven false, and he turned out to be a really bad person anyway. But that's the thing. We learned from his mistakes and built off his ideas to develop our modern understanding of philosophy, and I believe you can do the same with stereotypes. So, to finish this off, I have a special guest who's going to conclude the PIP in my place. Okay, Timmy here. So, stereotypes are stupid. We should aim to live as equals.
Oh my god.
And we should...
How did you mess it up
What
again?
now?
How did you mess it up again?
What now? I didn't mess up. I didn't mess up.
Okay. You know what? I'm not paying you for tonight or for
That's
the entire week. You just get no money.
I haven't seen my family in a week.
What do you mean that's unreasonable? You know why you've been here for a week? Because you just keep on messing up. You're bad to me. Why are you so bad? Aren't you supposed to be the leader of the no organization?
Okay, you know what? You know what?
You should be like a professional
Shut up.
at not being bad.
Shut up.
Come on, just do it. Stop reading the script. Look at the camera. Say your lines. Okay?
We should try and live as equals. And
We should remember that stereotypes are an attempt to force a variety of people into a box. A really small one. And we shouldn't try to change ourselves to fit into that box.
We finally did it.
Because people are...
Okay,
This is stupid.
What?
This is just stupid.
What?
Okay, no. PIP, what are you going to do with the bibliography? I have to show that to Miss White.
No one's going to do the
Otherwise,
bibliography back.
she's going to consider parts of my PIP incomplete. Then I won't get exceeding. Well, you want me to not get exceeding?
This is a Wikipedia article.
Why? Oh, okay, stop. Well, stop. No, stop throwing my bibliography. Stop. No, I didn't use Wikipedia articles. Do you think I'm some, like 5th grader?
What do you mean you didn't use Wikipedia?
No, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that to me. You're not going to do that. No. Okay, sorry. Timmy knocked my camera down. Okay, there. Okay. Just angle it here. Thanks for watching my PAP. Sorry about the whole Timmy situation, but that's fixed now. He's just asleep, you know? Yeah. Hope you enjoyed my PIP, and hopefully you'll enjoy my Kahoot.